What up, bro?
Yo.
What you trying to do?
Shit. Let me look at it. I don't trust this motherfucker, boy.
Guys, do y'all see this shit, bro? Like, yo, we finna bust this engine down. We're gonna put some K pistons in it. G-swap, baby. No, I don't know. Pause, bro. I'm just too fucking. Alright, I'm back. I'm overly excited right now, guys. Like, I know I'm not an engine builder, and I know a lot of people are probably hyping up because Dale got a fucking engine stand now. He's gonna be busting engines down. No, bro, I'm not there yet, but I'm telling y'all, this shit right here just made me so freaking hype, man. I mean, look at this shit, bro. The engine is sitting here on a stand, bro, and it's fucking, like, look at how tall this shit is. Like, it's right here to my belly, bro. Like, this is like a comfortable height to be doing stuff. Like, this is so freaking dope, man. Why haven't I been bought one of these things? This shit is so trick, bro. And it's crazy because I actually had bolts in my bins over there that would fit the transmission side of the engine here. And I had enough of the longer bolts to actually do all 4 bolts, man. That's pretty freaking sick. And this baby she is solid, man. This is so freaking cool, guys. Like, wow, man. This is beyond me. I don't even understand, like, why I haven't done this sooner, bro. Like, we can easily get this harness off. We can pull all of the accessories, the header. Like, the whole freaking header is exposed now, other than like when I used to work with it on the ground and it'd be like kind of hard. You gotta hoist up the engine, and then the engine's trying to spin when I'm trying to break bolts free. Like, this is nice, guys. This is nice. Now, they do still have a 750-pound cheaper version on Amazon and eBay, but Harbor Freight no longer sells the 750. They've since just went to the 1,000, which is what this is. The reason why I like this one is because the wheels at the back there, or the front, whichever you want to call it, well, it's actually 2 wheels, so it gives you more stability, and it feels a lot more solid. We are dealing with Honda engines, so they're not that heavy, but you got to think about times where I might have to try to break a hard bolt loose. It's going to be better, I think, having it like this than having it, you know, with the cheaper one that has just like 1 wheel back here, because that thing looks like it would probably flip over pretty easy. So I'm hype about this, man. It rolls really easy. Everything seems dope. So yeah, I've been holding on to that thing for about 2 weeks, and I finally got to unbox it. Now, you may be wondering why I did put the engine up here if I'm not going to be building an engine. The reasoning is I was thinking it might be a little bit easier to run the oil feed and return lines with it on this stand. And then when we put the motor in the car, we don't have to try to get on the ground, hook up fittings and stuff. All of that should theoretically work. And all we have to do again is the cold side of the turbo through the intercooler and you know the dump pipe, but the up pipe is just gonna go just 90 straight out the roof. Like, I'm not doing any crazy turns, anything. Like, I'm just, wherever the turbo's resting, I'm just gonna 90 that shit straight up out of the hood, cut a hole. Wastegate, same deal. I'm gonna just 90 that shit right up out of the hood as well. But yeah, other than that, man, this should go pretty smoothly. Also, the turbo that y'all probably saw a couple of videos ago that I revealed is a complete V-band turbo. I ended up not being able to use that thing just because I couldn't find a V-band to T4, T3 adapter that was small enough. The turbo I was running was really small, but I like those because I'm not going for crazy power. I like to get instant spool, kind of like how my CV7 is. So to keep from having so much drag and lag, I use the smallest turbo because my goal, again, with this car is around 250 if possible. See how healthy this engine is, but hopefully we can make 250, and then from there it should be just a straight up, like, we just beat the crap out of it type of deal. So yeah, that being said, man, we went back with the same turbo that's on my turbo CV7. So guys, as you can see here, this cute little toy is what we're gonna be running. This is a GT30, and this is the exact same setup that's on my turbo car. So it's a GT3037. Again, it's the exact same setup that's on my turbo car now. Really quick spooling turbo. As you can see, it's got the T3, T4 mount up point there. Very simple setup, and they take pretty good abuse. So this is what we're gonna be running. So what I'm gonna do right now is put y'all back on the time lapse, and I'm gonna try to get this engine completely stripped down, all the accessories, header, wire harness, all of that stuff off. Most of it gonna get thrown away. Another thing that I realized late after I got rid of the parts CG that we had, this thing does not have a fuel rail or injectors in it. Injectors don't really matter, but I do gotta try to find an F23 fuel rail from somewhere. Shouldn't be too hard. If I have to, we'll do a good old junkyard run, pull one right quick, and that should be good to go. But we don't need that just yet. We can do that actually when it's in the car if need be, but just something else I gotta try to find. All right, gang, so I got this engine pretty torn down, kind of to where I wanted to get it to. As you can see, I took damn near everything off, everything accessory wise. I just realized I didn't get these, so I need to grab them right quick, pop them off. But everything else is pretty much already gone, and a lot of that stuff, again, we won't be reusing. So right now, what I was looking at, if you could tell it in the time lapse, I don't know, but I was spinning the engine over, just seeing if I could maybe tell the condition of the engine just by turning it. It sounds like it's building compression. I can definitely hear a lot of suctions and stuff going on, like within the cylinder head as it's compressing. It does have spark plugs in it. I can't remember if I actually tightened them down or not, but I did take these out and throw the ones that was in here. I think I put them into that D series motor that's in the CIVIC, just to see if it would run. But yeah, as I'm looking at this motor, man, you can definitely tell she's got some miles on her. The only thing I was debating on doing, which I probably end up going on and doing, is I might go ahead and do a timing belt and water pump on this thing before we put it in the car, just so we can have at least that peace of mind. And I also kind of want to pop that water pump off just to see what it's looking like and see if it's corroded inside. What I think I'm gonna try to do right now is go ahead and get that log manifold bolted up, and then we can go ahead and bolt that turbo on to kind of get a rough estimate of where things are. Probably go ahead and pull out the alternator relocation bracket and get that bolted so we can kind of see where things are gonna sit as far as that go. And then we can look down here, see exactly where we need to drill and get our bung put on the oil pan for the drain, and see what that feed line is gonna look like when we route it over the side. Kind of the same way, again, that my CB7 is. All right, boys, I'm gonna cut this heat off for y'all. So I feel like I've gotten to a pretty good stopping point for basically tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything else in this video or not. I need to, first and foremost, I need to hit up Dunny, see when I can bring him this oil pan. I might pull that off camera just to go and get it knocked out. But I've been sitting here, it took me a minute, man. That brass block, which I know a lot of people don't like, but it's the cheapest route. This is a budget setup, and this entire oil feed kit was only like 20 bucks, 16 bucks or something like that from Maxpeedingrods. So we are using the brass block, and I know that it can crack. I know this. I have this same block on my Turbo CB7 as well right now. So it hasn't really gave me any issues, so I'm just gonna run it on this car. And another thing, this should be relatively, well, it's not gonna be easy, but it's gotta be easier to work on that than the CB7, just because the engine, again, should be tilted a little bit forwards, being H2B. So we're gonna roll with it, man, see what happens. I kept saying as I was working on it, if this thing doesn't leak, I'll be surprised, because it just doesn't seem like it goes on all too well. But I'll show y'all what we got. So here it is, hit my light for y'all. But yeah, here it is right here, boys. We got the sending unit sticking out the back. We got the feed going up to the turbo, and then that's just a block off plug right there, and then it's threaded all the way into the block. So hopefully no leaks. I did use Teflon tape on every fitting, so again, hopefully there's no leaks, and if it is a leak, hopefully it's really minor. I was debating on doing head studs, but we'll see, because I'm trying not to push it too far, guys. I do not want to push this engine as hard as I'm pushing the JDM one. It's just no point or reason. And from what I see on the forums, like, there are people with 300K plus mile ones like this that have boosted 8 to 10 PSI safely. So again, I do plan to run E85 on this. I want to keep it as safe as possible. So with that being said, I think we should be okay. If this motor runs, she should take some boost. But yeah, that's pretty much where we are. I got the first side of the drain line all done with this AN fitting, and it's just loosely on right now, just so I can see where I need to put that bung before the drain. I gotta check my car, the CB7, and see exactly where it is. I don't remember if he put it all the way over here where the bigger spot is, or if he just put it like dead down here. I cannot remember. So I'm gonna check that off camera and just make sure that it's relatively in that same spot. And then we can just mark it out, pull this pan off and take it to done, and we'll drill the hole, weld the bung on. Shouldn't take all of 5-10 minutes to do that. We can spray a little spray paint on it if necessary, and then bolt this baby back up with a new gasket, and yeah, should be good to go. Then from there, I can measure this out to, you know, adapt according to when I mount a fitting here, and that way we know we don't have too much or too little, and it'll fit up just right. Feed is good. Again, this is just hand tight right here. And this line right here is gonna go up here in this little tray right there. And then I'm gonna probably put a little mounting tab right here with this 10 mil hole. That'll keep that feed from moving around too much, and it just routes down to the block. So I think that should be good. And then we should have room for wherever the wastegate sits with how much of this feed line gap we have. So it should be good there. But yeah, man, everything seems to be coming together. The turbo is pretty much clocked, especially on the exhaust side. So I went on ahead and tightened these down all the way. I still have this loose because we will have to probably position this just a tad bit once we put the motor in the car. But the main thing, guys, was getting that cartridge lined up to where we could do the feed and drain. And I think we should be pretty golden there. Again, I do need to make a junkyard run because, as you know, F23s require a different distributor. So what we need is a distributor from, I believe, a 95 Accord will plug right into the D16 harness. If not, I believe a D16 distributor will bolt right onto here too. I'm not sure, but I think it will. And these F23s only have 2 bolt holes anyway. So we'll figure it out and go from there. Honestly, guys, I was researching last night trying to figure out the motor mount situation because the H2B like little bracket thing does not bolt here. So here is the bracket for the H2B setup. And on a normal HF motor, like dual head cam, this will bolt to these bolt holes right here on the side of the block. Well, this thing is way wider and I can't get but one bolt to line up this one. If I line this hole up right back here, this one down here like almost lines up, but it's off. So we're not gonna be able to do that. So what I've come to the conclusion, and I've accepted my fate on this, what we're gonna have to do is make our own motor mount on this side. This is what I'm gonna try to use to create that motor mount for the driver's side. This is a part of a cheap set of B-series mounts for an EK. What I'm gonna try to attempt to do is, this is the stock F23 bracket right here. I'm gonna bolt this back up and we're gonna just cut or try to get this stud out. And from this bracket, I'm gonna weld plate to this to try to make it to where we can get it to match up to both these bolt holes and whatever position that the motor is sitting in when we get it in the car. So I'm not gonna be able to make this mount to actually put the motor and trans together and put it in the car. But this will be the best option because we can just cut these tabs off if we want it and build scratch from this little cylinder. Or what I'm thinking might be the easiest route is if we just build up to these 2 bolt holes, and then, you know, that way we know this mount to go in, and then from these 2 bolt holes, we'll just get things to line up and then drill custom holes in the new plate and just bolt it straight down to that. Maybe use just a nut and bolt setup or something, just something simple. As long as we get a good clamp down on it, I think it'll be fine. But that's gonna be our best option as far as getting this motor to fit in the EK CIVIC. Unfortunately, there's just no one, guys. I cannot find a single person with a F23 2B in this EK platform. I cannot find one person. There is one dude in Cali that's got like a full H swap in one, but the way he's doing his mounts is a lot simpler, I think, because again, the H2Bs typically lean forward. So with that, I think I'm gonna have a little more angle. He was able to just extend one of his holes on the F bracket, the F23 bracket, and then drill a new hole for the wider H, like the if you get 8 swap mounts for EK, like they're wider, the holes are spaced wider apart. So he was able to do that method, but I think I'm gonna have to just fab a complete mount from scratch, unfortunately, because no one does this. Like, no one's got this swap in an EK, and especially, like, I don't see nobody with a turbo F, bro, like in an EK, F2B. Like, there's just no information on it. I've searched forums and stuff. Like, people have said they've done like full H's and stuff, or full F23 with like an Accord or Prelude transmission, but I haven't seen anybody do the F23 2B in an EK. So I can't find anything relating to the engine mount. So I will definitely try to give y'all a video on how I do that, because guys, I'm honestly past that point of return, man. I have really set my heart on this setup, and I've been wanting to do this for the longest time, and now I think is my best shot at doing it. So this is just where we are right now. Again, another maybe week and a half or so, we'll get the transmission, clutch, all of that stuff in, and then from there we can build a whole H2B setup, drop it in the car, get the 2 mounts on this side lined up, and then from there we can try to get, I think I'm gonna see if I can get either Dunny to come over here, or if I have to, I'll just load the car up on a trailer and go to him, and hopefully we can get a mount fabricated for that driver's side. And once that's done, the rest will be kind of downhill, man. Intercooler piping, little gas feed line, all that shit. Just simple stuff, man. It'll be downhill. But anyways, guys, I've been rambling long enough. I hope y'all are interested in this setup, bro. This is very different. And if you are interested and you just found this video, make sure y'all subscribe, bro, because I'm trying to have this thing done within the next month or so. So, man, this is gonna be a ride to drive. I can't wait to see what it does. Anyway, I will catch y'all next time, guys. Remember, respect all bills. Peace out.